I know you're tired of living this plain Jane stagnant life. In just the next few minutes, I'm going to show you the 5 easy blueprints to success that's going to take you to your very next destination. Welcome back to the Success Blueprint, where we deep dive into different strategies and insights so that way you can actually transform your life and your business. I'm Charming. I'm so excited to be able to have you here. Today, we're going to get the chance to deep dive into 5 very, very simple blueprints that most people are just having such trouble with. And so I cannot wait to help you level up, whether you're a seasoned entrepreneur or whether you're a returning subscriber or viewer, or even if you're just new. Make sure to like this video, rate, comment, and subscribe. I'm extremely excited to be able to bring you guys these podcasts to help you elevate your business and life. I'm so excited. Let's get right into the podcast. So success truly is the ultimate goal for so many of us, right? It's what inspires us to wake up early and just to work late, to push beyond so many different limits, and boundaries. And, it really allows us to go much further than really what we feel like we actually can do, and allows us to believe that we're worth much more than what we're set for. And so for some of us, success can be achieving different career milestones. For other people, it can be just that financial independence that you might have, looking for that time freedom. But so many other people can just define it as just internal personal growth and fulfillment. But regardless of however you define success, there is one universal truth to it. You must have a structured approach that greatly enhances the chances of you actually reaching that destination. So what are those 5 blueprints to success? So first, the very first blueprint to success is accountability and goal setting. This is so important just because you have to hold yourself accountable. And it's so challenging when you're out there trying to level up your life, because things are going to be really hard. But that accountability is going to keep individuals on track and ensures that their goals are actually being met. And so it's really important to be able to track yourself, set good, clear, achievable goals. And it can be really challenging to set those goals. But many times when I say achievable, so many people just think, oh, maybe just nothing that's going to push me. No. If it's not pushing you, it's not a goal. You don't care about it. It should be something that fully challenges you and pushes you past your limits. Something that you can actually achieve, but it's far out there, right? A lot of times, some people just set these short-term goals without having any overall big, major milestone goals, right? And it's short-term goals are okay, but those should only be milestones to a bigger ultimate goal. All right, and so, for instance, maybe a short-term goal can include maybe, I don't know, creating or promoting weekly, for me, creating or promoting a weekly episode. Well, what is the long-term goal? What is my long-term goal over the next 5 years? Do I have a set number of listens? Do I have a set number of views? How many subscribers do I want to have? That's my overall long-term goal, right? If I want to have 1 million subscribers, I'm not looking at, okay, well, 1 million subscribers, that can come later on down the road. Right now, I just want to be able to no, that is my goal. And it's an achievable goal that I have little short-term steps that build me up to it. And so many people don't do that. Also, you need to be able to break down your goals. A lot of those larger goals seem very intimidating. Breaking them down into those smaller steps actually makes them manageable, achievable, easily, much better to track. So I don't know if my goal is to increase my podcast viewers and listeners and things like that, I have to outline these different steps, trying to improve my content quality and improve my thumbnails, promoting on different social medias in different ways, and collaborating with other podcasters and things like that. So the very second blueprint to success that you must have is you have to learn about finance and wealth building. You must. It's a key. It's a very key part. It's going to drive so many other different factors, right? So financial literacy is just so very important, right? And a lot of times financial success can be misinterpreted as just like the accumulation of wealth, just getting a lot of money. But like true financial success requires actual literacy, understanding of how money works and using it to build long-term stability. That's the importance. So many people, they want things, not net worth. And net worth is what builds your wealth, right? So a few things, you can obviously like create budgets and stick to it, those kinds of things. But probably some of the most important things is learning some different types of investment strategies for wealth building. And that's just one of the very critical parts. And diversifying your investment assets across different types of strategies, understanding how to use fixed strategies versus variable and indexing strategies, right? Those are so very important. Now, I think probably one of the biggest backings that someone could have and set themselves up for their own success is building up their emergency funds. It's so important. It's so very important to have at least just 3 to 6 months worth of emergency fund built up. I talk about it so much. I have so many I have episodes talking about emergency funds, what kind of places to put your emergency fund accounts into, so that way they at least outpace inflation while it's being prepared for your emergency funds for those rainy days, right? And then lastly, retirement planning. I think that's just huge, right? But so many people are utilizing the wrong strategies and they don't even know it. They're gambling away their 401ks and their IRAs and these variable accounts, which I'm sure if they knew about that, they probably wouldn't like that, right? So it's very important to understand and start building up your financial literacy. Number 3 is your mentorship and strategy. This is so huge because you must find great mentors. Someone once said, like, you can try and listen to 100 people, but it's only going to be 3 people that's actually going to be your mentor. And so you need to find that mentor so that way they can guide you, support you, provide wisdom for you, right? I think that's so huge. And then the strategy part, you can go and take strategic approaches to life. And a lot of times that's going to come from the people who stood and been right before you. They'll be able to come back and help you lay out these plans. Right now, like a good strategy like that you can have built with good like short-term tactics, long-term goals and things like that. And it's probably like one of the greatest things. And so building up your plan, your strategy with a mentor is going to allow you to consistently adapt to like the changing circumstances of life, right? And that's why it's so important to have your mentor. Start to build up your strategy. It's a great thing to build a network as well. I've talked about that a good bit here on the podcast. Just building your network so that way you can go to more people for advice and opportunities and things like that. But you definitely want to make sure you have about 2 or 3 core mentors. Number 4, leadership and motivation. It's probably definitely my favorite because it's one of the most challenging out there, because most people don't have those blueprints to success when it comes to leadership. And so I think that is important to note that leadership isn't just for people in managerial positions, right? Like whether you have a team, you're working independently, whatever the case is, I've said it before, you are either leading yourself, leading others, or leading leaders. And it's very important to understand that. Leadership skills are so very vital in growing your own success, right? And one of the biggest things that I talk about is taking 14 different leadership traits. I have a podcast episode about it, taking 14 leadership traits and actually breaking down and evaluating yourself, right? Just evaluating yourself is going to just inspire you and motivate you, uplift you to do the same thing with other people. And that's going to be so important, right? Learning different motivation techniques, understanding where motivation runs out and what to do, because motivation is only so temporary, and then pushing that over to responsibility for your team, for the people that you're leading. And so I think that's just so very important. And number 5 is the last thing. Number 5, ownership and entrepreneurship. You can't have success working for someone else. You're building their dreams, right? This is another thing I'll say often, right? You can build your own dreams, or somebody's going to W-2 you to build theirs. which one of those do you want to be? Yeah, it might be challenging, but you have to learn that you have to make your own money. I'm not saying quit your full-time job. That's great. Good that you have it. But start doing something on the side to build up income. And once that income takes over your full-time income, leave your full-time job. Now you have your own business. It might be terrifying, but that's where you have to start to embrace these different entrepreneurial mindsets. Trust me, we've got the blueprint to entrepreneurial mindsets and success, right? It's not just about starting a business. It's about having that mindset of ownership and innovation. Being able to look over different opportunities, looking at them consistently to improve and innovate and add value to so many other people, right? You get to create your own path. There's so many different resources out there. So many books, webinars, podcasts, other entrepreneurs that are there to lead your way down the path. And so like, I honestly know that a lot of this can be very challenging. Something in my life that I've had to make sure that I do is consistently sit down every single week, every single Monday. I sit down, I look at all the activity that I've done in the last week, everything I've done in the last week, whether it was working with clients or working with teammates, learning from others, building up my mentors or working with my mentors and building up my team and things like that, working on my strategy. I actually have to sit down and do that every single Monday. And that holds me accountable. I always know exactly where my goals are, where I am on track for them. And so many people don't do that. They don't. Second, learning financial literacy has helped me truly elevate my life. I mean, I'm able to take the most amazing trips because I finally learned how to manage my money. I'm able to put money into different products and trusts, things like that for my family. So that way we can actually go from where we were to where we're going to be. And that's so important. I'm able to start to think like an entrepreneur when it comes to my profits, my losses, right? Looking at it's so important to understand financial literacy. And then actually applying those principles is so very important. That's one thing that's a huge piece that I teach for my business is teaching financial literacy and wealth building. It's so very important. So I'm so glad because I've seen hundreds of people that I've worked with just level their lives up 6, 7, 8 notches, right? Their financial literacy has gone from like a 2 up to about an 8 just because we work together. And just that alone brings them so much peace of mind. So important. And then your mentorship and strategy. I mean, one thing for me, I work with some of the greatest leaders, some of the greatest mentors that I possibly can. And it's been probably one of the most effective things because it's sharpened my mind to understand and see things from different perspectives, from a perspective that I've never had before because I've never been successful before then, right? At least in the light that I consider myself successful. And as far as my leadership skills, I've sharpened those over the years. And so it's great because once you do sharpen your leadership skills, people will and want to follow you and learn from you. And that's so key because it helps you build up a community of support. And it feels the most amazing. And then finally, you've got ownership. It was the moment that I stepped out and said, I'm going to have something for myself, create something for myself that I actually found my purpose because I get to do something for me and provide that value to someone else. And the greatest thing is I don't get paid for my time anymore. I get paid for the value that I provide. And the value that I provide is much more valuable than the time that I have. Now I know like there's a lot of people that look at this and say, well, Charming, I can't just step away from my job, away from my life to go just take this business venture. I know. I'm not telling you to do that. What I'm telling you is you must start developing this entrepreneurial mindset that you must create innovation and start providing value and get paid from that on that value. You need a mindset of ownership, like this life is mine. That's all. Once you do that, then the entrepreneur and the businesses and things like that, those opportunities come by, and don't let them pass you. I'm not saying take every opportunity, but I am saying there's going to be certain risks that you're going to need to take. Now, with that, I mean, there's so many other people that have so many troubles with understanding that they don't have to live the life that they have. They don't have to, just because it was presented to them. These 5 blueprints are literally, if you start to work on them, look for ways to implement one a day. There's five blueprints. So work on one of them every single day. That's what I do on the podcast. These 5 blueprints is exactly what we do and we talk about when we break down. You don't need to know everything about all of these pieces. But these 5 blueprints are what the podcast is designed around. And so you don't have to go to some life coach. You don't have to go to a financial advisor. You don't have to go to other entrepreneurs and things like that. You can start with just these episodes. And from these episodes, you'll start to see that you enhance, your mindset shifts, and you grow and you develop. And then you start to find other opportunities, other people out there, other mentors, these things, right? So many of them. And it's so important. And so I'm telling you right now, these 5 blueprints, success is not an accident. It is the result of very careful planning, very diligent execution, and continuous learning, right? Following these major 5 blueprints to success, right? Accountability and goal setting, finance and wealth management, mentorship and strategy, leadership, motivation, and ownership and entrepreneurship. Like, you'll actually create a very amazing framework for achieving whatever your aspirations are. Now, each of these blueprints, they're going to provide you that structured pathway that offers you all the tools, all the techniques that you need to be able to overcome any challenges and be able to actually seize those opportunities that are looking you in the face that you so often look away from. So I encourage you guys to stay committed to your goals, seek those different, ways to improve. This is what we're here for, right? This is what the success blueprint is about. It's about mapping out those 5 blueprints for you and always remain adaptable, right? If you embrace these blueprints, I promise you, your journey is going to be amazing. You're going to be very well equipped to attain whatever success that you'd like to, all right? If you love this, if this was positive for you, if there was anything that touched you, if this was impactful in any way, please let me know in the comments down below. And I'd love to know, are there any other blueprints that I left out that you would like to share? Let me know in the comment section down below. And also, if you're listening from Spotify, hey, welcome. Come over to YouTube and watch this video as well. But with that being said, guys, have a beautiful day, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.